So for our handsome Mr. Z, we were going to warm up a little bit with some of his place behaviors, going to a bed and targeting and working a bit with that stay. So remember, the way I like to view stay is I like to have a distinct stay behavior and wait behavior. Stay, for example, is your dog will be stuck in their position until you go and retrieve them from that spot. You'll see that to build up value for Mr. Z, I'm feeding him several snacks while being in the stay position. Even if you haven't necessarily said your keyword, like let's say, for example, stay, and then having him work it, the main goal is right now he's also building up value in these repetitions. So while he's stuck in a down position or a sit, he is now creating value in being stationary. When you're going to be done with your stay, I tend to normally choose a release word. So I would say all done, free time, all set. I stay away from the word okay. We use it very often, and a lot of times we replace many different skills with the word okay. So let's say, for example, Mr. Z is doing a really nice job being in his little target mat and working the stay. I'm going to feed him his last little snack for the stay behavior. I'm going to say all done. And then I sometimes like to add a little bit of touch to my puppy. While I add the touch, then I might wiggle my fingers. He's like, I don't want to break from my spot. If your puppy gets stuck in the stay because they're finding it very valuable to not be moving, you can go ahead and you could, again, lure them up, but I wouldn't feed them from breaking from the position. So now we would, again, go bed, get him to target it. Lovely. And we're going to feed him for that. So now I might tell him to stay. He is technically laying down on his bully stick. I sometimes like to pair sometimes some vegging on a target mat with also a chew or lick item. That way, as your puppy is finding value in being stationary and you're feeding them throughout it, excuse me, you can also then start to get them comfortable relaxing. Sorry, this darn tickly throat of mine. So I'm just going to show him that he's got his bully stick. So if, let's say, for example, you're creating value in not moving, giving them special chews and prizes for vegging on their spot is another great way to add in value to not moving and breaking from this position. So right now with his stay, you want to, sorry, my throat is driving me crazy today. So you want to start to think about your 3 Ds while you're also training. So there is your duration, there is your distance, and there is your distraction level. So if your babe was having a really hard time with your time frame, excuse me, like your duration, you would want to, for example, notice how my reps are very short and sweet, and it's a high rate of reinforcement. So I'm giving him a lot of snacks throughout this lovely stay to create value. Nice. So as he's practicing, he's getting a lot of good reinforcement. We also have one of the gentlemen, hello. So we have a worker in helping with some of the buildings, things that are going a little bit off. So we're going and maybe have a few little distractions on the back burner, which is great practice anyway. So let's say Mr. Z is doing really well with his time frame. So he can go every 3 to 5, maybe 7 seconds between a snack rep. You could shorten that time frame, make it even 1 to 3 seconds, and then you could add a little bit of movement, which would again create distance and technically some distractions as well. But if, let's say, he was faltering, which means he keeps getting up and breaking, it means we're making it too hard, too fast. So I would definitely start to make sure that when you're working with your beauties is that the rate of reinforcement is high to create a lot of value in the behavior, but you're working your puppy within their comfort range or understanding. So if you are constantly having a puppy that's breaking from their stay, it typically means they don't understand, they're overwhelmed, or they find no value in what we're trying to teach. So make sure you're making it seem fun and also enriching in the sense that they're getting reinforcements for doing this hard work. Again, when we want to end the behavior, I would tell him he's all done. And I like to add some touches. What a good boy. And he's like, oh my gosh, yes, that's a good itchy spot. So right here, oh my goodness, it's so hard to reach your own back. So then as he's doing a real good job, we might get him up. He's like, oh, but I really love my downs. Ready? Oh, see, there he goes again. So you don't want to do a recall. So recalls are going to be saved. So I might lure him, but I'm not going to feed him for getting up. I'm going to, again, bring him back. and then replant him in a sit or a down. Yes, and then feed for that. So when doing recalls, those would be either just simple recalls from the environment or a recall from a stationary position, which would be your weight. So with stay, I never pair my stay with coming when called because I want to build value in being stationary. So this way, view it like freeze tag with room service. The handsome guy is gonna only be fed while he's stuck. Nice. So we'll feed. And two, if he's, let's say, doing a great job with a down, you can also feed throughout the down position in between your puppy's front feet. And that way it's almost like the food comes from below, so it helps them stay lower. Some puppies are really eager and they try to reach you halfway with the food. So I like to go ahead and keep it and then lower it to the floor if needed, right in front of the puppy's nose. This is really pretty. Nice job, sir. So, and if your puppy breaks from their position, no big deal. You could regain the down and then start again. Nice. But we'll probably give them a little break from some of these lovely stays and work a few other little skills. Nice job, sir. You did a beautiful job with that stay.